Exactly how big was the Matrix simulator? The Matrix film brought a philosophical question to the collective masses. What if we are actually living in a simulation? Despite this idea sounding outlandish due to the massive requirements that such a simulation entails, there are some details that can lead us to the possibility that the Matrix isn't as big as it may appear. That in fact, it is much smaller, the size of a single city. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Recreating a city as a virtual world is much more comprehensible. More so if you take into account all of the city simulations that exist in real life. The belief that the Matrix is made up of a single city comes from several clues throughout the films. The first clue is that there is no other setting besides the city in the Matrix in the original trilogy, Mega City. Mostly referred to as the city, and the city is not very big. The freeway from The Matrix Reloaded is also referred to as a single entity, as if there is only one freeway in the entire city. Now then, the possibility that humans only live within one city in The Matrix does make a lot of sense. The machines can have the humans occupying a relatively small, virtual urban space that is easier to recreate than a natural or organic setting. Another scene where the city's unique geography is presented is when Neo is stranded at the Merovingian's chateau. There, Neo asks Link where he was.
Operator.
Link, where am I?
You're not gonna believe this. You're all the way up in the mountains.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to get up the next. Oh shit.
What?
Those twin things are after Morpheus and Trinity, and I don't have a way to get them out.
Where are they?
Middle of the city, 500 miles due south.
Link informing Neo that he was up in the mountains means nothing, considering all the mountains in the world. Neo could be anywhere, unless it is known that there's only a few mountain locations in the simulation. Those mountains specifically were 500 miles north of the city. Now take a closer look at Link's monitor. There we can see Neo's location to be at the very edge of the map. So maybe the simulation's geography may consist of approximately a 500-mile radius. The Matrix is a life simulator, and there are people in it who can travel around the world, even to outer space. But only if needed will these elements be recreated in the system, and witnessed by a small group of people, thus saving a large amount of processing power. And since we are probably talking about a single city, the amount of times in which these changes would be necessary are relatively low. There may be evidence of this in Matrix Revolutions, when Neo and Trinity are flying over the fields of power plants, towers in which the humans are trapped and connected into the Matrix, the inhabitants of Mega City. It makes sense. After all, humans only know the world as it is presented in the Matrix, and what they think to be the rest of the world may just be recreations in the same location. The movies do seem to support the idea that everyone who lives in the Matrix does so in one city. But do you agree? Do you believe that the simulated world of the Matrix is just one city? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.